What's up, guys? Vince right here. Rwby, you guys remember that? Well, guess what? A bonus I just saw uh in their site, and pretty much, yeah, it's almost got to me. I don't know what it is, but Rooster Teeth, because it's ending, and I think it already ended. Like I think they already closed their doors, so I'm kind of late on the party. I'm just like saying goodbye or anything like that. But then again, I'm not really a Ruby tuber in any sense. I just love the show, and I followed most of its from Murder Birds and Cow, and pretty much like Vex and Hero High, and just so many creators. If anything, a lot of times Ruby inspired me to create something that I wanted to actually put out there in the future one day, but I've been kind of lazy on the story writing for that department, and also Rooster Teeth itself. I honestly do wouldn't really be on YouTube if it wasn't for Rooster Teeth. There's other inspirations right now, and maybe some of those inspirations is gone. Most of it from Rooster Teeth, like from Achievement Hunter, whole gameplay mechanics, and also the comedic, just aspect of entertainment, at least for me when it comes to doing YouTube. But it's still it's still here. It's still alive, and I still can trace back to those times where I remember the videos or the humor or just like the spunk that Rooster Teeth has produced. And it's kind of just sad just to see them go and operate online, but still it's kind of like, yeah, just like that. Just like that. And I never thought there would be anything else for Ruby. I was really worried. And then I saw this and I was like, there is hope. I mean that, and also carries like being there in university, and as everyone else was crying because it's not a goodbye, it's a see you later, but it's a goodbye. I don't I'm usually not that type of guy, and I guess I'm beginning to be that type of guy as I get older. It's a goodbye. Honesty is not pretty. And from the looks of it, from either inflation or the big corporations like Warner Bros., yeah, something like this just had to happen. And I can't help but just be like so disturbed where I'm like, are you saying that Rooster Teeth going all because of for freaking stakeholders, for that stupid reason, for the sake of business and some BS, that they just had to go? Is like that is like, I'm like, damn, all right. So they're just ants to you, even though that Rooster Teeth, Rwby, listen, Rwby is more than just like animation. I seen the community firsthand, the same way I seen like MLP, except that this is less weirder and more, I guess, at least in my opinion. But the whole MLP thing with the bronies, like that was a big effect at the time. And seeing this with Rwby and how it really inspired so many out there, and the audience that I have seen, it was like a whole new planet, and just got obliterated. The just by because of Warner Bros. Not happy or whatever freaking reason, which I don't freaking know, and I can only point fingers here and there, and I could be wrong because who am I? But damn, I don't want to see this go. I don't want to see Rwby go at all, and I'm gonna miss Rwby. I'm gonna saying that this is the final push. I'm hoping to God that it's all the way until like volume 11 or 12, or I don't know. They can work online, right? I'll support them somehow. Someone can buy them. Somebody. But I have all these hopes, and it's like, damn. I don't know. I'm getting too emotional here, as you can tell. I love Rwby. I really like, the lore, and the Ruby Chibi was something that cheered me up, and I remember the hilarious times from it for sure. And volume 10 was just like a vibe, was a moment, it was a return. And man, everybody was like at a reunion. It was a cookout, and that cookout ended, and it was like, well, damn. I guess I see you guys like you know next year. I'm sorry. I'm trying. I'm tearing up because this is hard for me to talk about or something like that. So I have to wipe my pretty eyes. But it's like I guess see you next time. But is there a next time? You know what I mean? It's like damn. The first time when I saw this, and people reacting to it, talking about it, it felt like a little something that I guess, hey, just checking on you. That's what it felt like, just checking on you. Ruby's like that one friend. Hey, man, hope everything's okay. I'm just checking on you. And, sometimes you need that in life. Even though you don't need it, you do need it. People cannot go alone. Nobody can do it alone. The Rwby, the Crewby that made this, the community that surrounds it as the circle gets bigger and bigger. Sure, you have Rwb. Sure, you have like Achievement Hunters. Sure, you have like all these other creations that Rooster Teeth has made, but it's more than that. It's more than that. And in Rwby, gosh, it's more than that. It really shows that anime, and if you know me, I stand for anime that is not just Japan. The world is too big to just say like everything is freaking Japan. And sure, yeah, big ups to Japan, but for crying out loud, just look at the world around you. There are countries that deserve to have that magic, that flair that Japan had with all its animes and goodness and gracious and video games and stuff like that. What man, you a lot of times I see Poland try to do the same thing, okay? I see some creative stuff from Brazil that try to do the same thing. I see creations in video games, believe it or not, from Africa. And I'm just like, no way this is real. This is actually happening. And sure there's people's opinions like, oh, this is like, this is like whatever. It's like, no, this is what it this is amazing. And here in the US, of course, we created animation, but it's almost like we created an anime where it's an indie anime and it's awesome and it has brought so many people together. I will never forget that effect, that conversation from Rwby for the longest time as I would ever dream of. And seeing it go is just like, I don't want to see that day. I hope it still goes on. I hope it's still here. And when I saw this, I was like, damn. But of course, you guys are, here for my review of the bonus ep. So I don't know. Is it a review? Should it be a review? Listen, I'm too hungover and emotional because when it comes down to just talking about like, man, think about the community. Damn it. I follow gamers instead of the games themselves because when you really think about it, it's the people. It's the people that makes the magic. But yeah, sure, let's talk about the freaking episode. I'll freaking share my thoughts or whatever. I mean, for this bonus, it was not completed. I mean, Carrie said that as well. And though it's not, has everything, all the perfections, it's the content, it's the story that matters. What's happening after it, there's that beauty. In the moment that it got to Crow's part, let me tell you, I teared up when he mentioned Clover. Oh, God, he mentioned Clover, and I was like, gosh damn it, Crow. You freaking stop it. Listen, there were so many parts in here where it's easy to cry and tear up, but man, I was like, yes, I do remember Clover. I do remember him. I don't know what I said, but I do remember. And that felt like freaking decades ago, it felt like. But it was magic. It was something. And I loved it. But not only that, man, this actually really captures up. Seeing Team Coffee out of like, the wins and back deal was amazing. some of the battles. It would be nice to actually see them, but of course, it's an epilogue. It's like a bonus. That let me tell you, there's a part of me where I'm like, no, this definitely should be something that is complete, that needs to be there. But of course, I say that, you know, I say that knowing that if I put my stuff out there, I probably don't know what I'd do with it. But for this one, they know what to do with it. This has to be like part of the whole entire story itself. And maybe it is. Maybe this is just a little like beta. You know how there's certain games in early access and stuff like that, and you get a free beta. I'm not talking about beta like calling someone a beta. No, I'm freaking talking about like, an access beta. Like the new Skate 4, which I'm still calling it Skate 4. Okay, I know what they call it, Skate. For those that don't know, I'm a big, huge fan of skate games, and the Skate series has always been my thing. My PS3 cats, where you at? But Skate 4, they put out a free beta, okay? For people to test out to see if there's like any things we need to work on. It's not complete, it's not perfect. It's probably still a prototype. That's what it is. But man, I couldn't help but feel like this is completed. This is something that we've been searching. Because when watching volume 9, the whole time I'm thinking about Crow. The whole time I'm thinking about Winter. The whole time I'm thinking about Klein, Oscar, freaking, the Teen Juniper, and just like everyone else, and I'm just like, what are they going through? What could they be going through? The fact that I never thought they would have voices, but the fact that they have voices, like the voice actors are still here, coming back to make this magic. It's it brings tears to me because it's like they still care. I still care. And I'm not a Rwby tuber. Shoot, a lot of times I care about like, like the new indie game that I'm about to play sooner or later. But once Rwby comes in, I'm like, man, forget everything else. Let me check this out real quick. Let me see what's going on. I'm gonna come back to when I want to come back to these games that I want to play, or these movies I want to see. Okay, that Fallout, my God, that was a good one. Okay, jeez Louise. Ugh, can't wait to review that. But right now it's Rwby time. And it's like it's like they never left. It's like Rooster Teeth never ended when it all came back. The moment I hear the voices from Crow, from Winter, from the perspectives of them, of what they're going through, or the people that entered Vacuo, it's like this is definitely where we left off. Because in no other ways this was ever at all in like volume 9. Because we mostly focus on Team Rwby. But what could the others be thinking? And it's almost like it answered a lot of my questions of like, crap, what is Oscar thinking right now? What is Winter thinking right? What are the regrets? What are the sombering times, them sobbing and just like, missing their loved ones. Like it's a lot to take in. Them mentioning Clover, mentioning Penny, God, oh my gosh. And it's a lot. It's a lot because when you watch this, I definitely understood why people are just like so hungover about Final Fantasy, and I don't freaking know what Final Fantasy. I never played the freaking games, okay? I don't care. Yes, I know Cloud and some chocobos, but other than that, I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. Whatever. But then I do understand, because imagine me seeing Rwby every single episode, every single piece. It's like someone seeing every single Star Wars movie, every single Star Trek, every single, I don't know, like just anything, like all from one IP. And I definitely understood now, because this is just like, emotional moment, because you're seeing something that you grew up ending. Like, you can only imagine if One Piece, oh boy, Vince bringing out anime. Yes, I'm talking about anime. Imagine One Piece, okay, just ending their final episode, their epilogue. How on earth would anybody handle that with the billions of people that are fans of freaking One Piece? Or, or, I'm sorry to do this. I really am. Dragon Ball Z. I guarantee you, Akira, if he was still here, there would still be so much amounts of work. And I really hope that, and I'm not a fan of DBZ, but I hope it still goes on. But I hope for the same thing for this as well. Even though the creator as well, and there's one thing that, DBZ and Rwby, at least to me, and in what I believe that links, like, kind of just like compares to each other, is that both of their creators are not here. They're not here. They're not alive. And they're still going on. There's still so much life to their creations. Shoot, when I go one day, okay, I don't mean to get emotional, but when I go one day, I want my story to live on for other people to make it what it is. Something like that. Okay? Just something like that. Look, for people's creations. Imagine Mario going. Imagine Sonic going. Imagine freaking, like, I don't know, it's Phineas and Ferb going. Okay, I don't know, anything that rocks your boat. Just leaving. I mean, would that still be there? It is still there because people are still mentioning it. Just people still remembering it, and it's like their soul was attached to this whole thing for this long. No matter what happens to the company, no matter what happens to the other people that work for Rooster Teeth, that worked on Rwby, like they're still here. And I know I'm getting full on, I don't even know, philosophical, sentimental, whatever, because this is freaking bonus episode Rwby. This is a lot, okay? The voices, that's enough as it is. But man, adding some like in text to just like from other people's reactions to it is like a whole nother emotions, because you see a remembrance of just like where they were when it was, these certain episodes here and there was first, like, around. And now you see them old like me, and it's like, well, wow, we made it, huh? We made it this far. Gosh, it's crazy to think about, okay? I just can't get over of just the amount of years I've been watching Rwby. It's it's a lot to take in, or just Rooster Teeth in general, because there's a lot to say about this bonus app. But I'm just happy I saw it. Remember her, that freaking, like that scene when Rwby was shown in the, remember, it's like, it's just, it is something that is almost like a reference to Rooster Teeth, of like having that image, like not in a mural, but also like just in your head, a mural inside your head. Like, I remember that. Okay, I don't have a picture of Rooster Teeth. I don't even know if I ever bought anything from them, if I got to be honest. Because I'm just not rich or something like that, or maybe I just don't have a lot of fan stuff. Because I mean, what's the point? You don't even see my room. But I still have those in my mind. You know, Rooster Teeth, I probably still have a poster of it. Not physically, not realistically, but in my head, next to my Sly Cooper poster, next to my Metal Gear poster, next to my, like, Creature Hub. Remember that. If you know, the, like, it's just, it's still right there. And I guess it's just because maybe I'm about to go to bed and I'm just tired. I just, I know this is probably not a review or anything like that. It's probably, I ruined the review. This whole time I'm just like sobbing and just telling you everything about my moments with Rwby and what it means to me, because I just can't freaking help it, okay? I know that my, objective says review the freaking episode or something, but my heart says otherwise. My heart is like, no, 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 no. Just take this in. Just look at the sun. Look what's out there. And just take it in. And I always felt that way with Crow, like that sense of optimism that there's gonna be good things for the show. I just know there is. And yeah, overall this was a good bonus app, if everything else. Just seeing how the characters and I can't wait for it to be put on paper, like put in like on the show itself, like real life. That would be such a stunning way. And also, what the heck is Tyrion doing back here? I didn't know that they were alive or something like that. Shoot. So we got some enemies to deal with. We got a lot of these freaking BS caterpillars to deal with. You know what? And thankfully, Ruby. And yeah, this is spoiler alert for like the volume 9, that they finally come back and they're ready to, I guess, do what they do. Just saving the world. And if anything, from what I realized from the whole Ruby, I don't know why you think about it, but I guess the whole premise of the story is kicking ass, and that's what they're gonna do, kick ass. Okay, that's what you want them to do. Shoot. My God, it's crazy. I will never forget that when I was watching some random show or something, I was thinking to myself, like, oh, Ruby, that's right. I gotta check that out sometime. And it leads to here of just me being a fan of it and loving it and catching every single episode. I never thought it would catch me because not a lot of animes, at least during that time, because I was in, high school or something like that, I was studying, that I was like, like let me check that out. I think I remembered what Ruby is. Let me check it out. And I don't know where I heard it from before that, but it led me to seeing all of it, binge watching, just and also free on YouTube as well. It was available on YouTube, and I just binge watch it. Volume 1 to 4. I'm like, I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. It was a sight to see. Anyways, yeah, I don't know what I just said there. I believe someone's more qualified to review freaking volume 9 epilogue, but this epilogue was everything. Seeing the characters, learning who they are, the sense of kindness inside their hearts, as you can see it, the sense of humanity that they're going through. Emotions were all over the place with this epilogue, and it was everything. But also, what's everything is like the reactions, the community seeing it, and just me having this sense of optimism that, yeah, Ruby, I guarantee is still gonna keep going. Because, volume 10, like, come on, that has to happen. I just know they can do it. I believe in them. I'm usually just not a very optimistic person. If you check out my event stocks, my podcast series, I'm very like pessimistic. I rant about everything, but this time it's different. I know great blessings will happen for, Rwby. I just know it is. Anyways, I'll see you when I see you. Ruby, forever. God bless.